Hey guys, welcome back. It is a beautiful fall day. Well, I thought I'd do another truck comparison. I have done them before on the channel. It gets some people going. My last truck comparison was this 96 Ford F-250 7.3 Power Stroke with a 5-speed against my 1996 6.5 K2500 turbo diesel. Here's a picture of the turbo diesel right here. I lovingly called that truck the Wood Weasel. Check it out. I did a comparison because, well, they were both 1996 model trucks and they were competitive. Okay, and a lot of people said, well, that's not fair. The 6.5 was not the same as the 7.3, but let's be honest, they were direct competition. Moving forward, today's comparison, and this is for you guys, maybe you're looking for a heavy truck and you want to buy one and you don't have the budget for something newer. Now, me, friends, these are not daily drivers for me. These are work trucks. I have a 13.5, 14 acre homestead here. I tow and haul. I haul my drinking water because we do not have a well. That's a thing here. I haul firewood, I haul garbage. Every week I have to take my garbage to the dump. So I need a heavy truck to get by here. Also in the winter, with the amount of snow we get here, you need a vehicle that is capable of driving through 1.5 feet deep snow. Now on paper, these couldn't be any more of an oddball comparison, but I will say, in today's market, these F-250s have gone way up in value, even from 2.5 years ago when I shot the first video. So let's talk about buying these trucks here. This is a particularly nice one. Yes, it has some rust on it, but I do live in the north and everything rusts up here. Dodge, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, they all rust here. So that's a wash for me. But this is a 2-owner truck, me being the second owner. It has 325,000 kilometers on it now. I got it with 282, I believe. So I've put, 40,000 kilometers on it. This truck up here now is worth anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000, which is absolutely insane. This truck here is my new truck. This is a 2007 Ram 3500 with a 6.7 Cummins. It's a Laramie Mega Cab. This is a top spec truck. This truck up here, I'm seeing these go anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. So comparison wise, this thing wins. You can buy these cheaper. They're not anywhere near as available. These things grow on trees up here. There's a bazillion of them. Okay, so first and foremost, pricing. This truck wins versus this truck. This is a higher buy-in. These go all the way up to 25 grand here. I've seen them sell just like that, especially a Laramie Mega Cab. Let's pop the hoods on these things and talk about what's under the hood, because really, friends, you're buying these for the motor. Let's check out the engines. Okay, under the hood of this 96 F-250 is the world-renowned, the legendary 7.3 Power Stroke. 444 cubic inches of turbo diesel power. It is a V8. It is a glorious, glorious motor. It only makes, friends, 215 horsepower. This is a 96. These ones are non-intercooled, okay? 215 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque. So this thing is absolutely outgunned by the Cummins in every way, shape, or form. You couldn't even put these two in the same realm, or could you? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Let's fire this thing up and listen to her. Okay, let's look at the 2007 Ram. This is a 2007 and a half. This is a first year 6.7 Cummins. Inline 6. It has a variable vane or variable geometry turbo. 350 horsepower and 650 foot-pounds of torque for this motor. Okay, lots of power. This is just a totally different animal than what's under the hood in my 7.3. Okay guys, while I have both trucks here, I want to talk about day-to-day living with these. It is fall and I live in the north. I live in Manitoba. It starts getting cold here about October, November. Day-to-day, I'm already noticing this thing is way more cold-blooded than this truck. This truck fires up like that, whether it's below freezing or above freezing, it seems to start the same. It'll puff one puff of white and it's done. And it'll sit there and it acts like it's warm. This truck, I warm this thing up when it's cooler out for about a half an hour. So for a daily driver, this probably is not a great idea unless you have time. Now, I'm very particular about my motors. You guys could hear, that's a cold start on this truck. This thing, I let it idle for about 10 minutes before I set these up. So there is some temperature in the motor. This thing's a little cranky right now because she likes to be warmed up. So fuel mileage. Let's talk about that because that is important, friends, whether you like it or not. You got to be able to afford to put fuel in these. Now, you don't buy these trucks for fuel mileage. I certainly do not. How do these compare? Well, I've done a few long trips, but I did a very, very long trip in this truck this summer. I put on about 4,000 kilometers, 3,600, I think, 38. About 2,200 miles I put on this truck. I averaged at 70 miles an hour, I averaged about 20 miles per gallon, 21, somewhere in there, friends. Okay? This truck, for what it is very fuel efficient. Now, this truck is 355 gear ratio with a 5-speed. I picked this on purpose. I drive on the highway a lot. I needed something that could do moderate speeds comfortably without absolutely pegging the tachometer. This thing at 70 mile an hour is just over 2,100 RPM, okay? It's purring down the highway, but it's not bad, okay? 21 miles per gallon. Towing, you can take 3 to 5 miles per gallon off that. Usually about 3, okay? We'll talk about towing capacities and payloads after, but that is towing about 9,000, 9,500 pounds. This truck here, it is definitely harder on fuel. Now, to be on the up and up, friends, this truck is lifted. This truck has like a 3-inch lift in the back and a 5-inch lift in the front. Not my cup of tea, but when you're buying a used truck, you buy the one that's the best for what you do and go from there, okay? This truck has 33s on it. This truck has 34.5s, okay? This truck is lifted. This truck is stock height, okay? This truck's getting about 18 miles per gallon. I've done as good as 19 and a half. So fuel economy, this one's definitely better, but this one's not far behind it, friends. And I bet you if it wasn't lifted, this truck would be better on fuel than this one. So fuel capacity, this truck has more fuel capacity than this truck. You can go a little bit farther, 60, 70 miles per tank, 100 kilometers farther with this truck than this truck. Okay, friends, I think we're done talking about the motors. I love both of these. You can't compare them though, friends. Running down the freeway at 70 mile an hour, all you hear in this truck is motor, okay? This thing, it's quiet, it's smooth. You don't hear a lot of the motor while you're driving this truck, not compared to this. This thing here, you are sitting on the motor, that's all you hear. Doesn't bother me, but some people might not enjoy that. I call that character, and I love it. Okay, let's talk about interior comfort, towing and hauling capability, payload, you know, that kind of stuff. and just day to day what it's like to live with these trucks. Okay, the first thing you notice when you're comparing these trucks, build quality. This thing's solid, okay? This truck is made out of real metal. The doors are heavy. Everything about this truck says quality to me. Interior, factory seats, no rips. I got a little spot there that I'm likely going to sew back together. That's it. Okay. These seats got some time on them. Very, very comfy. This truck has power windows, door locks, mirrors. It's got lumbar, fully adjustable seats, friends. This thing's full load for the year. I don't think there's any other options you could get other than an automatic transmission, which I wouldn't want in this truck. Here's your back seat. The other side, when you hit the switch, it flips forward. My biggest problem with this truck, friends, you're not putting an adult or anybody of height in this back seat. This seat flips over and folds flat. That's nice. Biggest issue for me though, friends, car seats. My kid is gonna be, well, she's 3, and her feet go here, okay, with the car seat set up. So that's basically the issue with this truck. This truck has a factory idle controller right there. If you're looking at one of these, that is a great thing to have. You won't complain about that. When it's cool out, you can idle this thing up, or maybe you're boosting somebody. Put the e-brake on and hit your RPM controller, and you can dial it up or down. I have airbags and a compressor in this truck. Nice interior, great place to spend a day. I can sit in this seat for a whole tank of fuel, 2 tanks, because this truck has dual tanks, and not complain. So nothing wrong with these. I'm a big fella and I fit in here nicely, and I'm super comfy doing it. The biggest drawback to this truck, friends, it's loud in here. Okay, when you're going down the highway drinking your Tim Hortons or whatever you drink, all you hear in this truck is the motor. Okay, it's very loud, and there's no real way to quiet it down. The 7.3 Power Stroke is a noisy motor, probably the noisiest. So the first thing you notice when you're comparing these two trucks, this feels modern. By modern, I mean cheap. Okay, when you open it, these doors are big and heavy, but these handles are cheesy. They have cheesy chrome covers on them that are coming off. They're sharp. Okay, nice thing about this truck is this factory tow mirrors. That does help. These are heated mirrors because this is a Laramie seat. These seats are in great shape. That's one of the reasons why I bought this truck. I feel like that's a reflection of how it was treated. Now I may be wrong, but everybody has their ideas. The seat's in great shape. No rips, no tears. This is super common. This is from guys leaning on here, or gals. I tend to lean while I'm driving, and all I feel is this. So super common. But other than that, this interior is in great shape. It's got a few little dings like there. That looks like a dog stood on there. Comfort though, I'm giving it to the Ford. Those Ford seats are so comfortable. My co-pilot on our last trip remarked at how comfortable that old truck was. This truck has power windows, mirrors, door locks, heated mirrors. It's got the adjustable pedals. 6-disc Infinity audio. Still sounds pretty good, even though it's like almost 20 years old. There's 10 years difference between these trucks roughly. Factory exhaust brake. That is awesome for towing. I love it. Back window opens and closes. You got heated seats. Old school cigarette lighter. Okay. Shift on the fly. Electronic shift. My F-250 has the lever here. I prefer the lever. I wish this truck had a lever right here. More reliable. Never met a lever shift that didn't work. This truck has a heads-up display here. It gives you a compass, all that kind of good stuff. Fuel mileage, you know, all the things they have. Nice to have. Power sunroof. It has the DVD player in the back. Again, apples to oranges. Comfort, the Ford wins. Quiet and convenience, this thing wins. This thing's super quiet ripping down the road. And again, here's the back seat. If you've never seen a mega cab, I'm 6'3" and there's like almost 2 feet Okay. If you have a passenger that's 9'7", they could probably fit back here. A few little issues. This thing probably had a car seat in it at one time or another, which is what I'm going to do, so I don't really care about that. Okay. I really like this. It's all toolboxes all the way back. That's a huge deal for me. And again, it's got the armrests. Still haven't really fully cleaned this truck. For comfort, like I said, friends, 7.3 power stroke, then the F250 wins. For just convenience and haul around the family, I mean, this thing smokes that for room and just all the little things. So again, just showing you guys the differences. They are glaringly obvious, but you wouldn't expect the seats in that F250 to be that good. Okay, let's talk about payload, hauling, towing, all that kind of stuff. This is a farm truck. It's got garbage in it all the time. Got a headache rack with backup lights. Love that. Let's talk about payload. This truck, the payload, depending on where you read it, it's 36 to 3,700 pounds. I have tested that. This truck will do it. This thing is very heavy duty. I do have airbags, so I'm cheating, but friends, that truck has airbags too. So 3,700 pound payload. If you're worried about payload, this is the choice for you. This truck will haul a heavy load, and it only has 3 leafs. Okay, 3 leafs on the back, 1, 2, 3 in an overload. This thing definitely takes the weight really well. So if you're worried about payload, these are heavy duty trucks. This is a 6.5 foot bed, which is the other reason why I bought this truck, is it fits places. We'll talk about that after. So payload, this truck. Towing. Max weight for towing on this truck is about 10,000 pounds. Okay. At I tow about 9,300 pounds. You feel it. Getting up to speed in this thing is, it's working, especially if it's windy out. You know you got weight behind this truck, okay? Once you get there, though, it'll hold that speed all day and just do it. So you're not going to get anywhere in a hurry, friends, but if you do want to pull, I see guys online pulling like twice that with these, and I think that's crazy. I would never do that, but towing a sane amount of weight, this truck will do it, and it'll do it all day long. Trust me, friends, this is a great towing rig. It is not fast, but the thing I want to say is that's what makes this truck so much fun, is it's not fast. It has character. Let's go to the Ram. Let's start with payload. My biggest complaint with this thing, it is lifted. You can't reach the bed floor. And in fact, stock, I don't even think you'd be able to. Yeah, I still haven't put my drive shaft back on. This thing's 2-wheel drive only for now. But this truck, friends, really hard to get in there. Payload, well, look at this thing. 4 leafs, an overload, and 2 helpers, okay? This truck has a payload of 3,400 pounds, and it is a 1-ton. So the Ford is definitely the heavier truck when it comes to payload. Now, I know why the payload is lower on this, because you're hauling around that giant cab. But still, when you're talking 1-ton payloads, this thing's kind of chintzy, okay? Now, I have airbags on this truck, and I'm sure it'll do it, but a little chintzy on the payload department for a heavy truck. I feel like it could do a little bit better. I have not sacked this thing out yet, so I won't know until I do it. Let's talk about towing. The reason why you buy these things. I tow. I pull a water trailer. I need to tow, and when it's winter and horrible out, I like the torque of a diesel for getting through drifted snow. A gas jobby will do it, but I find a diesel just does it easier. Life's stressful enough. It's nice to just be able to rely on your truck to do the job and not worry about it. Towing. Max towing capability for this truck in this configuration, I think, is just under 17,000 pounds. I think it's like 16.8. Maybe 15.8. Somebody will go in the comments and say, hey bud, you don't know what you're talking about, but I think that's what I read. Towing capability is way higher on this truck. This thing with 10,000 pounds behind it, you don't even feel it there, friends, at all. This is a better towing rig. It does it easier with more power, more speed. It's got bigger, heavier brakes. This has giant rotors all the way around, 4-wheel discs. It has an exhaust brake. For towing, this thing smokes the old 7.3. Curb weight though, friends, this thing weighs like a ton more than that truck. And if you look at these things, it's stupid. This thing's just stupidly giant. I was in the car wash the other day with this thing, and I had to take the first bay, you know. Let me tell you, getting out of there was, I was Austin Powersing it. Forward, reverse, forward, reverse, forward, reverse, forward, reverse. The people waiting in line in their little city micro cars, they were shaking their heads at me, but okay. So for towing, if you're towing light to medium loads, this thing's great. If you're towing heavy loads, the Cummins all the way. This thing makes its power max torque at like 1700 RPM. This thing makes it at like 3,000, 2,800. Okay. This thing's revier. She likes to rev. This thing does not. I don't ever find a scenario that I'm revving this. This thing, I'll rev it till about 2,600 RPM when I'm pulling gears, 2,800. This thing, if I put my foot in it, it shifts at like 2,200. Like, there's no comparison. Okay, both good for towing. Both will do their job. But this thing is definitely the towing rig of choice. Okay, guys, so let's wrap this thing up. This is a crazy comparison, isn't it? I know what you guys are thinking. I'm going to put my... There we go. You can hear my daughter in the background. That's why this is more of a rig for me than that at this point. Are these two comparable? Yeah, they are. They're both old, antiquated technology. They still run the 6.7, but it's not the same. Reliability, these are both, give or take, stone cold reliable. These things tend to wear injector cups, injectors, turbos, stuff like that, but so do these. Injectors, I don't know what injectors will last on these, but I think it's a wash between the two of them. Maintenance costs, well, there's 8 of everything on that. There's 8 glow plugs, there's 8 injectors. There's no lift pump on this truck, or no injection pump on this truck though, so that's good. But this has a high pressure oil pump. This has 6 injectors, no glow plugs, has an intake heater. So, I mean, it's kind of a wash between these. You're going to eat money on maintenance on this, your regular maintenance. You're going to eat money on your big maintenance on this. Reliability, friends, nothing kills these. These have really zero known issues that are catastrophic failure producing. These are the gold standard of reliable, give or take. You're going to find it hard to find a truck more reliable than that. These, their main issue, grid heater. Okay, grid heaters on these fail, and it gets sucked. A piece of it gets sucked into the number 6 cylinder, and pop goes the motor. Okay, so if you have a factory grid heater, which this truck does, you want to upgrade it. Transmissions are, some people say they're good, some people say they're garbage. This truck's lifted with big tires and it is tuned. Now I'm running it on a mild or a no tune tune. If you're gonna make power with these, you probably will have to put a transmission in it. These transmissions run until they grenade. So, I mean, this has a ZF5, 300,000 miles. These are going to grenade on you. They're very expensive to rebuild. These are going to last 150,000 miles, maybe 200,000, and again, very expensive to build. RF68 RFE, I think this is called, 6-speed, and that's a ZF6. So, I mean, pound for pound, shot for shot, you couldn't have a more silly comparison unless you wanted to do Dodge versus Ford. I am not brand loyal in any way, shape, or form. I've had Chevy, Dodge, Ford. We're driving an Infiniti, a Nissan right now. It's my wife's ride. And my daily driver is a Chevy Silverado. I am not brand loyal. I think if you're brand loyal, you're lying to yourself. Everybody has good runs of vehicles and bad runs. Sometimes Ford is the best truck. Sometimes it's Dodge. Sometimes it's Chevy. They all have their issues and they're all going to break. I've owned each one. So pick the one that you like the best. And again, friends, buy-in for this truck is way higher than this truck. Now, again, I bought this truck from auction. I'm going to be into this truck for more than this truck, but not that much more when you compare what I've done to this truck. So we shall see. We shall see how reliable this thing is. My F-250 is an absolute monster for reliability. It always starts in winter. It is a cranky old girl. You fire her up in -30, she'll yell at you, belch and fart for a while, and literally smoke out the entire township. You could see a smoke trail from this thing for miles when it's cold out, but it will always start and run. We'll see if this thing is reliable or it's just an old antiquated diesel. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. I can't pick a winner in this one. I like them both. This one has character and I really enjoy driving it, and it's smooth, but it's loud and grumpy and old. It's harder to find parts for. Used parts are about non-existent. And then there's this thing. It's got modern convenience. It's quiet. It's got way more power, but I don't really notice because I drive like an old man. I do. I drive my diesel slow. Convenience, but the main thing for me, this truck wins because, well, I can put my daughter in the back seat and have her comfy. We can go to the lake in it and have my wife, me, my daughter, and our dog, and still have room to haul things. So I'm going to pick this truck, and, well, obviously that's why I bought it. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy and post a comment below. Is this a crazy comparison? 10 years difference in model years roughly. About 40 to 50% more buy-in price. Almost, well, maybe 100% depending on where you live. More power, more convenience. Is this a crazy comparison or is this legit? Post a comment below and let me know what you think. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.